Amy Rose was on her knees, peeling an apple that made a small hill of the fruit's skin. She was bathed in blood. Her quills was soaked with streaks of blood and plastered to her skull. Her delicate arms had splattered blood. Her eyelashes were coagulated. She smiled at her attainment when she finished peeling and took miniature bites. She giggled when drops of the thick blood fell onto the skinless apple. Licking the blood off, then took another bite. She smelled like polished copper. She looks like as if she ran out of a killing spree at the mental hospital, or also called the nut house. She was insane. She had schizophrenia, or as you might say it, demons telling her what to do. Fuck me. Amy got it when all the horrible things happened in her life. She lost her job. She couldn't support her family. Her husband, Sonic, then got abusive when they couldn't afford anything because he couldn't get a job. Sonic didn't go to college. Her two sons, Isaac and Dash, both 4, then got unhealthy from all the cheap fast food restaurants, and they didn't have enough money to get the healthy food, and they were no longer happy or hyper, just lazy and depressing, maybe even hating their own parents, but yelled at Amy the most, saying they hate her because of their looks. Everyone started blaming the pink hedgehog for everything. Amy changed her sitting position and sat in crisscross with her elbows on her knees, her cheeks lounging on her hands. The family's room's rug was drenched with blood. Amy embraced the silence. The voices died down. Well, for now. She had nothing to do but wait until they tell her more commands. She managed to think to herself, accepting the peace. No more crying. No more bitching. No more abuse. She blessed the silence for now. She blessed that she killed her family. It's nice and relaxing. Amy then laughed lightly when she heard loud sirens. Of course, the neighbors called the police from the pleas from her husband, and the crying children, their screaming died when she stabbed them with a kitchen knife, which laid beside her. Amy was so nonchalant from her carnage that surrounded around her. She remembered when she stabbed her husband until he started choking on his own blood, how he wasn't hesitating to kill her sons. She stabbed them until there was silence. Her demons started laughing after their commanding to kill them, saying her life would be better and no one will judge her because those hated her the most. The blood-covered schizophrenic took another miniature bite, like a bigger piece would choke her, like how Sonic choked on his own blood. The images played in her head thousands of times, haunting her last bit of sanity. The police then barged in when she was halfway to bite again. They started stare at Amy, accusing her, but then started asking questions. She didn't answer, only bit into her apple once more. She spit out a seed when a rookie patrolman asked her if she knew what happened. The rookie asked again. She stared at his name tag. Knuckles. Knuckles got closer, on eye level with her, then started asking slower to what he is asking. Amy smiled. Isn't it obvious? I killed my family, she thought happily. He raised an eyebrow and thought of her as a child that was in a candy shop. Then she grinned like a madman and he thought of her as a demon. Knuckles sighed. She is out of it, the patrol reported, but it seems like he is saying, totally fucking gone, as the precise phrase that Amy thought. Amy started giggling like crazy. Of course I am, she thought, as she giggled mentally too. She held her stomach, which then had droplets of blood that will cause a stain. She was gasping for air and coughed a bit, and then the police looked at each other, slightly worried and uncomfortable. Amy's neighbors decided to be nosy and see the commotion and gasped at the gruesome scene she had caused. They then got their phones to tell their friends, and now she knew that this will be reported. She will become famous. She fell to the floor and landed on the bloody rug, staining her clothes more. Her hands were shaking as she tried to pound on the floor. She didn't seem to know that her husband is dead beside her and she killed her 2 young sons that was limp on the couch. She didn't seem to know anything, just that a demon is inside her. She only thought that her killing was a positive thing. Amy started caressing the fuzzy rug to calm herself, started to get calmer, trying to catch her breath and started breathing slowly. She calmed herself until she didn't even look like she was breathing at all. She grinned as she rested her cheek on the blood-stained carpet. It smells like copper. It smells like her. Her vision got blurry. She blinked rapidly to get her vision back, then she realized that she was tired. Amy yawned loudly, blood spewing slightly when she had a coughing fit from her laughing. She had a bad month, but all of that was over now. For now, just for now, her problems would go away if she listened to the voices in her head. Of course, she would regret it in her sanity, if it ever came.
Don't let